Here's some glorious news for you today. When God speaks, you live, as long as you're listening. In Deuteronomy chapter 5 and verse 24, Moses has been up on the mountain. It's got lightning, thunder. It's a fearsome sight. And the elders come up and they actually hear the voice of God. And they say this in Deuteronomy 5:24. Behold, the Lord our God has shown us his glory and his greatness, and we have heard his voice from the midst of the fire. We have spoken with God, and yet we live. Now, the Israelites said to Moses, would you just listen to God for us? This is too fearsome for us to hear the voice of God. And God agreed. But that's not the way it is in the New Testament. The book of Hebrews corresponds with this scene in Deuteronomy, and all throughout the book of Hebrews, we're seeing these admonitions. Today, if you hear his voice, do not harden your hearts, as when they provoked me in the day of trial in the wilderness. You see, when God speaks, we have to pay close attention. And it's up to you to hear the voice of God. Don't depend on your pastor. Don't depend on a clergyman. Don't depend on someone else to digest your spiritual food for you for maybe 1 hour on a Sunday morning. No. When God speaks, we live. And going all the way back to Deuteronomy chapter 5, after he's given the 10 Commandments, he tells us this. It's an amazing statement, verse 33. Walk in all the ways of the Lord your God, that you may live, that it may be well with you, that you may prolong your days in the land of promise. When God speaks, you live. When God shows his glory, it helps bring life to you, but you must be listening. Listen for his voice and live in his glory.